Daniel Bryan not confident in WWE creative. Alexis Carrillo here, back with some more wrestling talk content on the Alexis Carrillo brand YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any wrestling talk content in the future. And recently, Daniel Bryan appeared on the Gorilla Position show right here on YouTube, where he voiced his mistrust or his lack of confidence in WWE's creative team when asked about a possible Miz versus Daniel Bryan match at WrestleMania 35, specifically talking about if WWE Creative could keep both Bryan and The Miz away from each other until time for their big match at WrestleMania 35 commenced, and they would start building up to it. Daniel Bryan, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said that he doesn't really believe WWE is capable of doing that, simply because they haven't been shown in the past years or even in the past decades to show that they can build to long-term stories and to long-term matches. He also said that it was going to be very hard for WWE's creative to keep The Miz and Daniel Bryan apart on Smackdown Live every Tuesday night for the next 6, 7, possibly 8 months of WWE television, simply because, you know, they're on the same brand, but also the fact being that, and this is just Daniel Bryan's words, the fans want him to punch The Miz in the face, his quote, and also Daniel Bryan himself wants to get his hands on The Miz. Now, in reference to his first comments as to whether WWE Creative can actually pull off something like this, building up to a match 1 year in advance or in the future, or long-term plans, pretty much impossibly, over the past few years, they kind of have been doing it, because it has been rumored for quite some time, you know, leading up to this year's WrestleMania, the planned match, the planned main event was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, and that's what we got. And then back in WrestleMania 31, it was rumored, it was planned, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and that's what we got. And then we got the once-in-a-lifetime match at WrestleMania 28. That was announced 1 year in advance. John Cena versus The Rock, main eventing WrestleMania. And that actually happened. So, if WWE really wants to build to a long-term program or to a long-term match, they can certainly do it. They have the patience to do so, specifically when that's what they want to do. It seems that more oftentimes than not, there are certain plans that they want to do, and there are a lot of plans that are just all over the place. So in that terms, recent storylines might prove Daniel Bryan wrong. But here's the thing, here's one other factor of it being pretty much unlikely that they're going to build to this 1 year program. And it also has to do with the fact that, you know, you are running live TV. You are running live broadcasts. That makes you more reactionary. Just to compare to all the other companies out there that tape TV in advance, that has one clear benefit over WWE, and that is the fact that they can tape in advance, they have to write stories in advance, and they have to stick to them in advance, because they have 2, maybe possibly 3 days max tops to film all of this. So they have to stick to it, edit it, and then air it. WWE does not have that. WWE has live TV on Mondays and on Tuesdays. So if 1 week they start an angle and then the next week it doesn't seem to be catching on, they can change it. They can move to another direction. And yes, that makes it more unpredictable, but also it makes it more all over the place. It makes it more crazy and illogical, because WWE is able to be reactionary to not only fans' views of these segments, but also ratings. Ratings dropping could also be a main factor in them changing directions. And finally, one thing that might also work against Daniel Bryan versus The Miz WrestleMania 35 actually happening is the fact that Daniel Bryan's contract comes up in late September this year, and he has yet to renew his contract. So, that's pretty much the gist of what Daniel Bryan had to say, and those were my thoughts, aggregated to all of his comments. What do you think about what he had to say about WWE Creative? Do you think that they're going to take it out on him? Do you think they're going to punish him for some reason? Or do you think he was just being honest? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's it for me. Till next time.